So we're gonna be looking at what started it all. If you guys are not up to the news, okay, on the 28th, like creators, some of them turns out that got wine and dine by EA and BioWare. You would think everyone that got like flown and like their stay paid by BioWare, they would all get early review codes. That just means, you get a code a week in advance, it seems. Gal Elizabeth basically in her Twitter just confirmed that. They copy a week in advance. They can make videos. I don't know if they can stream it. I think they can make videos and then upload them to YouTube. I'm not sure what the whole mess is and like behind the scenes. And a lot of them got review codes to review beforehand. So when the 28th comes, surprise, surprise, they can make money ahead of everyone else. Say it with me. But we didn't get paid. But they didn't pay us. Irrelevant. Your opinion, your take, your words, your justifications, completely irrelevant. So that's basically the whole premise of this. The whole thing that blew this open is Veilguard FPS, which, to his credit, when I was researching and just watching videos of people shilling about this game, a lot of you in my comment section said, hey, watch Veilguard FPS, which I have watched his video in my personal time. He was one of the most, if the only creator that was actually neutral about the entire situation, where he reviewed the game faithfully to his morals and his preferences, which honestly, kudos to you, sir. But it just goes to show that people like him, and then I would like to talk about Luke Stephens, because people are like saying, well, Luke was positive and he didn't get a code. I'll talk about him when we get there. But this is the tweet that started it all, okay? 3 creators, myself included, were a bit more critical than others with our hands-on time with Dragon Age the Veilguard. Not a single one of us will be getting a review code with time to actually give opinions before release. Just thought I would throw it out there. And before, like, people started off like, well, they didn't have enough codes. They make the game. And it's a digital version. And it's the internet. You could literally send every single creator that went to the wine and dine, meet and greet, sucking BioWare camp. You could send all of them a review copy of the game at the same time, and they would have all gotten it at the same time. So the whole thing is, and it's ridiculous that this is even happening. Like, that you would just go through all this travel to just sideline the only people, like, I feel like, the only people that were actually like honest about their opinions on the game, and the only people that would actually get people like me and people like you to maybe give like Veilguard a second look, like a second, like, oh, maybe I'll check it out, that got people to be kind of skeptical about their already set in stone opinions about the game. This is just the last nail in your coffin, because this is crazy, okay? Please keep in mind, folks, that this does not mean that my more critical opinion is better or more truthful than those who have been more positive. Okay, I'm just simply pointing out how marketing works. This also doesn't mean the game will be bad, but it is something to consider. It is something to consider. And yeah, he put it like very beautifully here. I'm just simply pointing out how marketing works. And I've been saying this since day fucking 1. And people have been just calling me a grifter and a rage baiter, and I'm just hateful and this and that. At the end of the day, toxic positivity is what they wanted. Okay? And it's one of the reasons why I think Wolf didn't get one and Luke Stephens didn't get one, and the other, like, another creator, I don't know who the third creator is, if you guys figure it out. Yeah, Luke Stephens didn't get the code either, and a lot of people are like, oh, but he was positive, and I'll just like talk about it now, I guess, and going to. But Luke Stevens just opened like a can of worms because he mentioned the NDA, okay? And he mentioned it in as a way that people were questioning every single like word that came out of his mouth and of other content creators' mouths. I don't think it was his intention to shoot himself on the foot, but by him like coming out and very publicly saying like, yeah, we're under an NDA and we weren't allowed to like talk about the game even if we had already played it and this and that, just completely like fucked him up in the end. I think he was trying to come out as truthful and transparent and honest, and it had the opposite like reaction for the internet, with people just saying like, oh, so you admit that you cannot talk about certain things and we don't know what those certain things are. We don't know if it's just like about positive things, about negative things. We don't know it. So, and to be fair, Wolf, if at some point you watch this, I really liked your review, and I really like that you were honest to yourself most than anyone else. So hey, kudos to you, sir, and I hope that you learn a lesson from this, that it's not worth it. It doesn't matter what you do if you don't bend over backwards for these type of companies and you don't get on your knees and suck their you're not gonna get anywhere like in that little like niche and corner of the industry. Just be true to yourself and people will show up for your videos and for your content. Don't rely on companies and having like early access or whatever, because at the end of the day, people don't trust them anymore. People don't trust content creators that have early codes of the game. No one trusts them. I understand that these people think in their head like, this is so cool, I get to like, review this early and I get to like make money faster than other people. And no, you're not. No, you're not. Unfortunately, in this day and age, no, you're not. And the people that are gonna watch you, right? Correct? Is the same people that have been avoiding spoilers like the plague. So they're not even gonna watch your content. It's gonna be people like me that are gonna watch your content. And you don't want that. And people don't like it when I do this, but I do dislike in like videos depending on whether I like a creator or not. And I bet people do that on my videos as well. Whoops. But this is Scarlet Elizabeth. A lot of people know her. She's just one of the biggest shills for Veilguard. And this is a 3-minute video. We'll see how much shilling she manages to get in, to shoehorn in 3 minutes. We'll see.
We are only 6 days away from the official launch, and here are all the launch times so you know exactly when you can play. For PC, there will be no preload, unlike consoles, because there is no third-party anti-cheat required alongside the actual download. So if you're ordering on Steam or the EA app, make sure you begin your download right when the game becomes available, and give it some time to load the shaders for the first time as well. And be aware, if you have pre-ordered, make sure that if you don't want to use the EA app, you pre-order from Steam.
Is this a ad? Is this a ad? Do they not care anymore? Listen, what is this dimension that we live in? Do they not give a anymore? Do they say, you know what, mask offs? Like they already are onto us. They know what our tricks are. It hasn't worked, might as well go, balls to the wall with the promotion for this. What?
As the EA app will make you use the launcher to play Veilguard.
Are you gonna shoehorn your... This is crazy. Okay, thank you, Kala, because you are a gem. You're a gem for people like me, for the grifters, for the gremlins that lurk in the darkness, okay? For you, as people that you hate with a passion, because we're here to boycott Veilguard, because it's gonna be a great game, and we're just hating on it, bitch. So let me remind you, let's really back in and go back to the era of getting Dine and Wine by EA, going to Buyer Camp, bending over, getting and getting a promotional code that does not give you any sort of you, the customer, doesn't give you any sort of discount. It only gives me, the person that, it's in bed with BioWare, it gets me money. And it lets, BioWare know how much of a good girl I've been and how many customers I've gotten them. But that's not payment. Getting Dine and Wine by EA, getting a promotional code, and getting paid through a promotional code. It's not getting paid. Okay. And now getting an early review copy because I've been shilling for months about this game. And I get to release early footage on the 28th before anyone else. So that gets me more engagement and more views and more revenue. It's not getting paid. Say it with me. They're not getting paid. They're not getting paid. And now, what is it? A week before release? Less than that? Is it 5 days? I'm doing basically a promotional video to get people to pre-order, to use my code, to remember, get the game. Get the game is going to be great. Get the game. But then people that are, because you would think, right? You would think in your head, if I'm a company and I want to promote my brand, my product, and I'm using content creators and influencers in a way to do it, to influence people. Let's see. Wolfhard FPS has how many subscribers? Oh, would you look at that? How much is that? It's not even double. Is it triple? Quadruple? The subscriber count that Kala Elizabeth has? And Unifeed Walker has? Oh, interesting. Let's look. Stephens. How many does he? Oh, double what Wolfhard has. But it's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence that a company that is struggling to get their product out there in a positive light is letting you, a relatively very small fry on YouTube, known for sucking BioWare's and being extremely positive to the point of being a meme and people not taking you seriously. They're letting you, who has not really a lot of reach on YouTube in general, you can only cater to people in your echo chamber that only consume Dragon Age content and maybe Mass Effect content. As a company, you would think, oh, I want someone that it's more known than that and whose reach is wider so I can get more people to get my, to buy my product. No, because you're not confident about your product. And you know that you only wanna, you're only gonna be able to sell it to people that are off in a circle about this game. But no one else can see this. You guys think that we're all blind and that, oh, yeah, this is a coincidence. There's no way that it's because they know they're cooked. Like, this is the last ditch effort into trying to make the game sell. Because you released a first trailer that was absolute ass. And people, I was actually at the beginning saying like, oh, maybe it's just a bad first trailer. It was the most accurate first trailer for a game that I've ever seen. The first trailer that we all saw, it's 100%, depicting what the experience is gonna be for the game. And now a week before release, you're scrambling around, panicking. You put together another trailer that it's scammy as hell because we've seen hours upon hours upon hours of footage of your game. Hours of footage. If we hadn't seen them, that would be a different thing. But we have seen what the game is gonna be like. And we know because people that even overall enjoyed the game have said, hey, it's extremely linear and it only gets darker maybe at the, towards the end for a very brief period of time. So you're lying to your audience. You're trying to gaslight people into thinking that your product is better than it actually is. but there's no lying to people that have been, like people like me and people like you that have been consuming the content for months because you guys have been desperate. This entire month of shooting themselves on the foot over and over and over again and then pretending that we're not seeing it. Like, they just keep doing this. They keep fumbling about like clowns. And then they're like, oh, you didn't see that. Sorry, I just ate you didn't see that. Pretend you didn't see that. I'll be back. And then they wrap this turd with golden flakes and a little bow. And they're like, oh, I know that you just saw me take that like right around the corner. It's not the same though. You just saw me. But it's not the same I promise you. This is a completely different It has a bow on it. So eat it. Please eat it. You don't know if you don't like it until you eat it. Eat it. And these people are just shoving the turd down their throats because they're losers.
I also just want to warn everybody about spoilers, specifically because the full game review embargo is up on this coming Monday at 8 a.m. PT. Reviewers who got to play the game early, including myself, get to share our full thoughts. And I can finally tell
you, no one cares about your thoughts. Oh, we get to share our full true thoughts about the game. No one cares about you. Literally, no one cares about your opinion. You guys have lost all credibility that you had.
And I'll be posting a very long spoiler-free video on the 28th at 8 a.m.
We should say spoiler-free.
And I can finally tell you all what I think about the entire game. And I'll be posting a very long spoiler-free video.
Ha! I can finally tell you my true thoughts about everything in the game. But I'm not going to tell you anything about the game except what you already know. So what you're telling me is that you're going to do an advertisement. Yet another advertisement. So you can whet people's appetites so they get curious for the 31st and buy it on the 31st. And I wonder, is this going to be Cal Elizabeth that it's going to be spoiler free? Or is Uni Fade Walker also going to go spoiler free? And any other that went into like BioWare camp and got a like review copy code for this? Are they all going to suddenly on the 20th, no one is going to post a single spoiler? I guess we're about to find out.
Kind of elephant in the room, okay? Here's the deal. Here's the deal. They did just post a new launch trailer. We're going to look at that as well. But I will not be reviewing Dragon Age the Veilguard at launch. I will not. You can't make me. Mainly because I don't have the game. Now,
sounds bitter. For someone a few weeks ago was going off about how it was much better than expected and it was a great fucking surprise and oh my god, BioWare is so bad. Now he's like, they didn't send me a review copy. I don't have it. And even if I did, I'm not gonna review it because I have standards. All of a sudden, you have grown a spine. All of a sudden.
Now, we have been, full transparency, we have been hounding them about it because they've been very coy about it. For like 2-3 weeks, we've been sending regular emails.
Guess who got a copy? And yes, I'm going to talk about you. Uni Fade Walker / Eddie / my biggest fan, because you are my biggest fan. Guess who got a review copy of the game? Eddie got one. Bestie got a copy. Could it be because Bestie it's in touch with Corinne Bush and just the PR team? Like when Eddie took like a week off the internet, who was there to, check on Eddie? BioWare. BioWare was. Eddie, who is nobody, by the way, does not pretend that people even know who the you are outside of your house. Not even 10,000 subscribers. Look at it. The views that my best friend Eddie, it's pulling. 8 days ago, 2,000.
More Emery.
Ew, not gonna do that. 9 days ago, 2,000. 10 days ago, 5,000. 12 days ago, 3,000. So even because at the beginning, Eddie was pulling some views, but nowhere near the numbers that Cal Elizabeth is pulling. And even then, Cal Elizabeth is just a fly compared to people like Luke, who 18 hours ago already has 67,000 views just for talking about Veilguard. So that lets you know that they're just cherry picking who gets their review codes. Yeah, Eddie got a review code immediately because they are in touch with Eddie. Why? Because Eddie is a trans man. Eddie got one, Kala got one, but then Luke didn't get one. After being overall positive, I told you why he didn't get one. I told you why. Because, first of all, his audience wasn't happy with his takes on the game. People were like, hey, what are you saying? Like, wait a second. Look, this isn't you. What are you saying? And people saw through the bullshit immediately. Then he mentioned the NDA in a very vague way. He did say something about like on the lines of, hey, we're not really allowed to say anything positive or negative. Even though we had played the game and no one knew about it yet, we weren't allowed to like watch a trailer and say, oh, I did that. I played that area and I think this and that. We were only allowed to react to what the journalist playing the game was doing. So it was just very scummy, and people were thinking, oh, if you're just saying that you couldn't say this, what like stops them from telling you don't say this and this and this and this about the game? Don't do a criticism about this. Do mention this. So it was a very, unfortunately for BioWare, when they picked Luke, they didn't realize that his community is not as closed and echo chambered as smaller communities are, because a lot more people have access to his videos. He has a bigger reach, and that means he gets pulled from a lot of other communities and people with different opinions, and people were not happy about his shilling for the game. And yeah, he just opened a can of worms unknowingly, and that's one of the reasons why he didn't get a review copy. Even though, as he's admitting right here, he was asking for it and like, hey, BioWare, hello, can I get one? Like everyone else is getting one. Can I get a code? Can I get a promotional code? Can I get a review copy? And
they've been mostly ghosting us until very recently, when it became clear they were like, nope, we don't have review codes for you, which was weird.
That is crazy. And I said it before. Review codes. It's a digital product. There's no such thing as like, oh, we cannot send you the physical copy in time or whatever, like excuse that could be plausible. This is not the case. It's a digital product. This entire shit show that we've seen for the past month of them just heavily spoiling their game as an, oh, get owned, we are very proud of this game, therefore we're gonna just like show you a lot of it, and then just proving my point and people that think like me, like our points of like, that is a terrible game, and I'm gonna explain exactly to you like why. I have very many videos about it of like, okay, you think it's good, I'm gonna tell you exactly why it's not good. If you think, which I know you don't, as a company and as developers and as animators and as writers, I know you don't, but if you think that your product is great, the product will speak for itself. Always. If you think, I've said it, if you think your book is good, you don't need to spoil half of the book for people to buy it. If you think your food is great, you don't need to shove the food down people's throats for them to eat it. People will just look at it and be like, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see how it is. And that's it. That's all you need to do. It's been an entire shit show. I got this comment on Twitter that it's been a week since people got this game. Someone already 100%ed the game. So Legion here said, like, looks like a lot of creators who have already have the review codes already finished it. And here Dantix is this person's name, I don't know. I've 100% completed Dragon Age the Veilguard. Will be posting my spoiler-free. Wait! I don't even have to wait for the 28th! I don't even have to wait for the 28th. It's all gonna be spoiler-free. Oh my god! You cannot be making this up. You cannot be this dense and just stupid if you tried. Well, I did say, I cannot be making this shit up. I did say, oh, I wonder if Carla Elizabeth is gonna be the only one that is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go spoiler free. Everyone is gonna go spoiler free because it's an advertisement for the game. Oh my god. Oh my god.
None of us, like, just disclosures out of the way. None of us are entitled to review codes, okay? Nobody is saying that we...
Get up. Yes, you are. Get the up. Bro, get off your knees, dude. It's over. You did. You provided a service and you were promised payment in some way or the other. Even if you're getting paid in Skittles, is still payment, okay? So you did. And it doesn't make sense that they're saying, oh, there's a limited supply of review codes. That is a lie. So stop sucking their they already nodded all over your face. It's over. It's over. You don't have to do this anymore. Bro, get the up. Jesus Christ. Get up. Really. Wow. This is just upsetting. It's just like, it's done. It's over and done. Just sit there and be like, hey, I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I don't feel comfortable like having access to games early if this is what's gonna be like. Just own up to it. It's okay to change your mind. Listen, we all love money. Okay? Let's not pretend that we don't love money. We do. But at the end of the day, you make a lot of money. I would understand if it's someone smaller or whatever. You make a lot of money. So was it worth it? And it wasn't. The truth is, it wasn't. Own up to it. Own up to it. And people will be less harsh. They're still gonna shit on you. That's just the nature of the internet. But at least be truthful and just, hey, listen, I f***ed up. It wasn't worth it. At the end of the day, I f***ed up. My bad. Stop doubling down. Stop trying to soften the blow for BioWare. Stop it.
Deserve a code or whatever. It's fine, okay?
It isn't. You're better. You just said at the beginning of the video, oh, I'm not gonna be reviewing Veilguard. Not that I can anyways because I wasn't given a code, but I'm not gonna be reviewing it. So are you not gonna play the game? Because you just, you just don't get anything off of it anymore? Like, literally, it would just be crazy to do that anyway because, yeah, they just f*** you right up in the ass for everyone else to see. And they didn't even, they didn't even cuddle with you or anything after it. It's just like, yeah, next. Just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So I understand why he wouldn't review the game because, wow, it's crazy what it just happened in front of everyone's eyes. But bro, just go for it. Go for the neck. Stop.
This comes with the territory. Honestly, at the end of the day, they need creators and they need reviewers much more than the reviewers and creators need them, okay?
This just sounds like a breakup video. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't a bad guy. I just think he got me in a very vulnerable moment of my life. And if I had gone to therapy, maybe I wouldn't have dated him. I don't need him. He needs me more than I need him, Bro. Bro.
Because, we can make content regardless, but they need our positive word of mouth. They need our excitement if the game is...
So you are admitting that the only reason you got a like 7 hours you go wine and dine was because you were expected to be positive and to be a walking advertisement for them. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit here. I just have to sit here and let them talk. That's all I have to do. Easiest. Am I a grifter when they're like shitting on themselves by themselves? Like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to edit the video. I don't have to twist their words. I don't have to cut here and there to get them out of context. It's just them doing the heavy lifting.
Good. And they really don't need our negativity if the game is bad. But this is really unfortunate because optically, it seems like the more critical independent reviewers are not being included in the review batch at launch, which is just a strange choice. Like, if the
I want to grab him by the beard and just shake him like this. Who has been saying this shit? Who has been saying, oh, it's really odd that only a selected number of content creators are being wine and dined? What about people that are known for being more harsh on video games? What about them? And you told me, no, that's not true. Just gaslighting the hell out of everyone. Like, no, it's just a coincidence. It's not true. But now that daddy, got the money supply, you're like, yeah, it's really interesting that only really Shills are getting review copies, and people that are like slightly critical, not even critical, because I've said that before. This is not being critical. Luke Stevens is not critical, and Wolfhard wasn't critical whatsoever. I'm critical, okay? And this are also people that are not fans overall. Like, people that they chose to be more neutral are not fans of the franchise at all. They're just bigger in their circles of reviewing games. And the smaller content creators are diehard fans of anything BioWare. And they would never say anything negative, especially when they're wine and dine by the company that they love. So it was all perfectly orchestrated until it wasn't. Until they, bit off more than they could chew, obviously. But yeah, I said it before, there was shilling and there was neutrality. Painful neutrality, with everything that was being criticized on being minute shit that doesn't matter. So that's not a criticism. What I do is a criticism.
The game is really good, let the critical people come out and say that it's really good. That will go a lot farther than IGN giving it an 8 or a 9. Like, not many people make purchasing decisions based on IGN. I frankly don't know of anybody, but I know that there's not a large number at the very least. Whereas if somebody that is known for being really critical and sharp in their evaluation, if they say this is really good, that carries a lot more weight. So it's just interesting. Legendary...
Is it? This is crazy. The way that his position on this game just 180 that motherfucker. Just spin that thing around. It is too little too late. Look, by the way, like, this is coming from a place of bitterness, because I know if you had gotten a review copy, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. You would be on the 28th releasing videos, spoiler-free videos, advertising this dumpster fire of a game. We wouldn't be here. And that's the tea.